Hello students, welcome to my channel and you are watching the ultimate English teacher and lecturer. So today we will discuss about the extra question answers of the story The Portrait of a Lady, class 10 cbse. The Portrait of a Lady, extra questions. Question number 1. How long had the narrator known his grandmother, old and wrinkled? And what did the people say? How did the narrator react? The narrator answer: the narrator had known his grandmother, old and wrinkle-faced woman, for the last 20 years. She was terribly old, perhaps she could not have looked older. Full stop. People said that she had once been young and very pretty. They said that she even had a husband. The narrator found it hard to believe. Question number 2. How did the narrator's grandfather appear in the portrait? His grandfather looked very old. He had a long white beard. His clothes were loose-fitting. He wore a big turban. He looked too old to have a wife or children. He looked at least 100 years old. He could have only lots of grandchildren. So that was the thinking about the grandfather of the narrator. Question number 3. Which thought about the grandmother was often revolting and for whom? The narrator's grandmother was very old and wrinkle-faced. She had stayed at his stage for the last 20 years. People said that once she was young and very pretty. The narrator could not even imagine her being young. So the thought was revolting to him. Explain. Next question. Question number 4. Explain. As for my grandmother being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. The narrator's grandmother was terribly old. She could not appear young and beautiful. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles. She was short, fat, and slightly bent. The very idea of her being young and pretty did not appeal to the mind. Did not appeal to the mind. The narrator's grandmother could, next question, question number 5. The narrator's grandmother have been pretty, but she was always beautiful. Explain the importance of the statement. Answer: she was terribly old to appear pretty. Her face was a crisscross and wrinkled. She was short, fat, and slightly bent. She did not create any physical appearance or attraction. However, in her spotless white dress and grey hair, she was a picture of serenity, peace, sobriety, and beauty. Okay students, so subscribe the channel and push the bell icon. You will get the more extra question answers of this story, The Portrait of a Lady, very soon.